All right, I hope y'all are ready because this episode is going to get real deep real fast. So I hope you're hanging on. But I just feel like it's not helpful when people don't tell you like how they really feel. They just put a wig on it and say that their hair's fine and there's a story underneath there. So that's what I wanted to just share with you today as we talk about the idea, should I have to pay for this? So I'll give you a little bit of a story, actually two stories. So I had someone come to me who was very experienced in marketing. And so she was a VP of marketing at a company, and she asked me, she said, should I really have to pay for this? She was like, I don't know why I'm considering taking a marketing course when I did marketing. And so I asked her just a little bit more about her role in marketing because there's a difference between being like the strategy person versus the implementation person. And what you really need to be successful, in my opinion, as a business owner, is you need to know both. You need to be able to speak to the strategy, but you also need to know how to implement. It's one of those things, in companies where, people that are doing the work, they say the people up there, they just don't understand. And it's why at Chick-fil-A, I'm pretty sure, I hope I didn't make this up, but I'm pretty sure I read that you have to be a team member before you're a manager and manager before you own, a branch, et cetera. Maybe that's not still the case. But I think the idea behind it is it's really nice when you've done the work because you just get it a little bit differently than if you never really were the person doing the work, right? So she came to me and she's like, should I have to pay for this? Because I'm already so good. And she really wanted to know how to do Instagram ads and display ads. And there was one other type of ad she specifically mentioned. But I kind of think about it like this, and it almost reminds me of how people ask me sometimes, can I get a discount for this? A lot of my clients have people coming to them saying, can I get a discount? I shouldn't have to pay full price. So here's how I like to think about it. And I've given this example in the past, but if I walked up to the Georgia Aquarium with my toddler and I said, hey, we would like to come to the aquarium, but listen, we're only here for the penguins. And like we've been here before and seen the whales and the stingrays and the other like fish. But can we get a discount just because we want to see the penguins? They'd look at me like I'm a crazy person. They'd be like, are we on candid camera? Right? I've given this example. And so, no, you simply cannot. You cannot come to the aquarium. They're not going to give you a discount just because you only want one thing. If the penguins are worth the price for you, pay the price or go home. And so sometimes people are like, listen, Ashley, I'm great at Google ads. I only want YouTube ads. Can I get a discount? No, you cannot, because this one thing can pay 10x what you've invested. So in your business, when someone comes to you and says, listen, we're friends or we do this, like I want to remind you of this story that I've told a million times. And it's that 0% of the people that ever got my Marketing Matters program for a discount or $0 ever did anything with it. And that's okay. It's okay. It's because they weren't invested. You're doing a disservice by not charging people because when people pay, they pay attention. When they pay attention. And when they're not invested, they're not invested. Would you do the work for something if you paid $0? No, there's no pressure or desire to do that. So should you have to pay for this? And honestly, a lot of people have come to me and said, but I'm so smart. Like I can figure this out on my own. And you being smart and a hard worker and willing to figure it out on your own is the very reason that you should pay to get the fast track because it means you'll do the work. And when you do the work, you get the result. The person that can catch on quickly and actually implement quickly and iterate quickly and has the mindset where they're expecting it to be rewarding, but simultaneously difficult because it's new, that's the person that gets the result. And so I want to tell you this. And I told you I was going to go deep on you for a second. I remember before I invested in my coaches, which was $50,000. What? And I remember before I was about to swipe the credit card on that one, and best decision, by the way, I ever made. You know what I thought? You know what I thought for just a second? I thought, why am I having to pay for someone to believe in me? And I've reflected on that for a while now. I'm very blessed. I had my husband who believed in me, and I had some family members and a couple close friends. But many of my friends didn't know that I had done that. And so I remember feeling like, why am I having to pay to get encouraged and supported? And at the beginning, I was like, I'm going to throw a pity party for me. Like, oh, little Ashley, like she doesn't have anybody to, encourage her in that same way. But that's not true. But at the same time, I think about how when we're little babies, we have parents or grandparents or someone raising us, typically. We have someone that's helping us and guiding us, a mentor. Then when we go to school, we have teachers. We play sports, we have coaches. We'll go to band practice. We have band instructors. Yes, I marched the baritone in high school. Let's go. I was first chair for a while, y'all. I love my music. Anyway, you go into the workforce, you have a manager, and then you get into entrepreneurship and you just have nobody. What? You just wing it? Do you see how that doesn't make sense? It's like your whole life you have someone. And you're probably thinking, well, when you're just getting started, that's when you need it. Okay. Then why do the best of the best athletes have a coach? Probably because someone sees them differently and they want to be as good as they can be, the best. They want to be the best. To be the best, what they know is that there is no mastery without feedback, and you need continuous feedback to get the result. You doing this on your own is the slow way. There's no way else to say it. The way my revenue in my business has grown, there is a direct correlation between the moment I hired my coaches and where I'm at today, and it's wild. Oh, have I gotten my investment back? Yeah, over and over. In fact, every month I'm making more than that back. Okay. And I just remember thinking, should I pay for someone to believe in me? And now I think I could not have afforded to not have someone not only believe in me, but encourage me and challenge me. What better investment than to have someone believing in you? Really? And that's one of my favorite things I get to do. Yes, we'll talk marketing. Yes, we'll talk business. Guess what? We'll also talk about you and what you're capable of. Because maybe you don't have someone that's cheering you on 24/7, saying, you can do this. Let's go. Here's how you can do it. What else matters besides that? Like, how are you going to get your goal if you're on an island, or you're on an island talking to only the same 3 people on that island, your spouse, your best friend, and one other person? It's nice to get outside perspective. That's why one of the reasons I created the Marketing Matters program was because I hated being alone as a business owner. I didn't have a community. Guess what I did? I created one, and it's awesome. Today alone, I've been on 2 separate group calls with over 20 people, just getting ideas, getting encouragement, getting feedback, thinking a new way. What is better than someone paying to get someone to believe in them, to encourage them, and to show them the way so that they can achieve the result too? For me, it's invaluable. For me, I can't believe I hesitated, but it's because I didn't know what I didn't know because I'd never done it. And so maybe you've never done it and you're like, I don't know about that. There's no other way to express it. Then I can't explain balance to you. Until you've ridden a bike, you will never understand what I mean when I try to explain balance. You have to feel it. You have to feel it. Sitting your booty on that bike. Then you're like, that's balance. Got it. And there's no other way to explain what it's like to have a community supporting you and someone calling you up and saying you can do this, but I've experienced it. So if you are doing this alone, and specifically, let me talk for just a minute for you coaches. If you are a coach and you don't have a coach, what are you saying to the people you're encouraging to coach? Hey, y'all, so you should have a coach and it should be me. Now, I don't need a coach. I actually don't think I should invest in a coach. Now, you should invest in a coach. Okay. But I shouldn't because I'm good enough. What? That there's going to be some inside of you when you really sit and think about that. If you're a coach and you don't have a coach, if you're the smartest person in the room, you can't learn, right? Guess what? The people that I get to work with that hire me to be their marketing coach, guess what they get? They get a coach that is always being challenged and always being presented with new ideas and thoughts because she has a coach. Guess what I start my calls with every week? I started one today with something I learned from my coach, and it was invaluable and they loved it. Me investing and pouring into me allows me to pour into them better. So if you're struggling as a coach, it could be because you don't have a coach yourself. So should you have to pay? It's like saying, should I have to pay for groceries? Like, we all are on earth. Like, I shouldn't have to pay for groceries. I shouldn't have to pay for a car. I shouldn't have to pay for clothes for my baby. I shouldn't have to pay for a house to just live in. Doesn't that sound insane? Well, Ashley, yes. When you think about it like that, yeah, you have to pay for things that are valuable. And what is more invaluable than someone pouring into you or showing you something that you don't know? Do you agree that if you knew better, you'd do better? You do, right? I do. I've been enlightened. I would pay that money over and over again. In fact, I probably will, because I'm like, wow, how can I get in rooms where I'm learning from people that are smarter than me? Because now that I've been in that room, my whole life has changed and things are moving fast and it's fun and I'm growing my impact. I'm hitting revenue goals and I have big goals for my team. I mean, I can't get over that one moment where I was like, should I have to pay for someone to believe in me? Can I just figure this out myself? Yep, you can use a paper map, or you can use a Google map and get alerted about the potholes, get alerted about the car that's in the way, get alerted about the traffic and the wreck so that you can go the faster way. Because you could DIY it and figure it out maybe, or you could just do it yourself, but the right way with someone guiding you. Has anyone ever tried to dye their hair at home, like color your hair? A friend of mine did. It got everywhere. Her hair turned to straw, a part of it fell out, and it looked terrible. It looked so bad. We tried to save a couple bucks, but what it did is it cost time and way more money to fix her hair. Bless her. It was awful. So you could try to do Google ads on your own, but what if you dye your hair wrong and it breaks? I've had accounts where in 3 minutes I have found something that they've been doing wrong for 2 years that have cost them thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. If they had just invested once to understand what they're doing, it could have saved them. But it's like we don't know what we don't know. It's exactly why I give this analogy all the time. If a mechanic came to me and was like, Ashley, I'm making this up, but like your timing belt is out. I don't know what a timing belt is. I've just heard of that word before, so I'm using it in this example. And so if they were like, hey, Ashley, your timing belt out, I would be like, I don't know. I don't understand. Just take my money because I don't get it. How empowering would it be if I could say, hey, so I know a good bit about timing belts and I know that they're supposed to last about this long. And so I'm concerned because this is less than half the time. Can you tell me why this would have happened? Sometimes it's nice to just know what to ask, to know enough to even know what to ask, so that even if someone else is doing it for you, you know what to say so that you're not wasting your money. So there is a right or wrong way to do everything, and you could do it on your own, but why the heck would you want to? Why would you want to risk when someone else has been there, done that, and says, hey, here's the quick way. Yep, you're going to run into that issue. It's like, when your friend or a family member or sister or sibling goes on a date with someone and you're like, that ain't gonna work. Ooh, they can't see it. You see it clear as day. They don't see it. They got their blinders on. They think they know what they're doing. And you're like, hey, you're gonna have to learn on your own. A year later, and they're like, that was terrible. And you're like, could have told. But sometimes we have to learn the tough way. All I'm encouraging you to do is not do that for your business. Money you can get back, time you can't. So that's why I think it's so important to say, hey, someone can show you how to become findable on Google. In fact, I can, and I can show you in a couple hours in a pre-recorded video with step-by-step training. So I want you to think about the next time, no matter what it is, should I have to pay for this? I want you to really think about what is the result worth to you? And if it's worth it to you, pay it, even if there's a chance, because you get to pick two pains. You can choose the pain of staying exactly where you are, or you can choose the pain associated with getting uncomfortable and doing something new and something different. For all those nutrition coaches out there, you might be thinking, what if my people think they can do it on their own? They don't need me. Well, that's one thought. Or what is that there's a clear path and a strategy for every person. And if they could only see it for themselves, you could guide them to make the exact activity and food plan to get them where they want to be quickly. You can do this. Believe in yourself and be okay with the fact that it might take money for you to trade in exchange for a result. I believe in you. I'm cheering for you. And if one of those results that you're looking for in your business is more leads, then I would love to invite you to the live 4-day Find Your Leads challenge. The next one is coming up soon. So you can click the link below this video, or you can go to ashleybrock.com/find your leads. I can't wait to see you there, and I'll see you on the next episode.